You know the moment. That moment when you're invited to a group event and you spend the whole time standing awkwardly, pretending to check your phone because there's no one to talk to. Or the crushing feeling when someone asks, "So, what are your plans this weekend?" And your mind goes blank because there are no plans, no friends to make them with. What about that pang when you see everyone else's group chats blowing up while yours is silent? Or when you have amazing news or terrible news and you realize, with a heavy heart, you wouldn't know who to tell. These aren't just awkward moments. This is the quiet, burning shame of being unseen. The dangerous feeling that you're fundamentally different. That in a world built on connection, you're standing utterly alone. This isn't your fault, and you are definitely not the only one. This quiet burden you carry, it has a story, a deep psychology, and understanding it, truly understanding it, is the first step to finally stopping the blame and seeing your own path towards a life that feels more connected, more witnessed, and truly pain-free. So let's look at the logic behind this. How does a person end up completely alone? It's rarely because you're unlikable. It's usually because your brain has learned a very specific lesson. Think of it like touching a hot stove. If you touch it and get burned, your brain creates a rule. Stoves are dangerous. Do not touch. Social pain works the exact same way. Maybe years ago you tried to open up and you were ignored. Maybe you tried to fit in and you were teased. Or maybe you just felt different and no one bridged the gap. Your brain recorded that pain and it created a new rule. People are dangerous. Vulnerability equals pain. Stay back. This is where the logical trap begins. To follow this rule, you start scanning for rejection. You enter a room looking for signs that people don't want you there, and because you're looking for it, you find it. A short text, a glance away, a pause in conversation. Your brain highlights these as proof that you should stay alone. So you pull back. You stop initiating. You stay quiet to stay safe. But here is the cruel twist. When you protect yourself like this, you become invisible. People don't see your fear. They just see your distance. They assume you don't want to be friends, so they leave you alone. And your brain says, "See? I told you no one likes us." It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You aren't broken. You are just stuck in a logical loop of trying to protect yourself from a pain that happened a long time ago. When you live in this cycle of protection for too long, two dangerous things start to happen to your personality. The first shift is what psychologists call identity erosion. Think about it. How do you know who you are? Usually, we find out through other people. A friend laughs at your joke, so you know you're funny. Someone asks for your advice, so you know you're wise. But when you have no friends, you lose that mirror. You stop seeing yourself clearly. You start to wonder if your thoughts are weird or if your feelings are valid. You start to feel unreal, like a ghost walking through life. This is why you might feel exhausted even when you haven't done anything. You are constantly working overtime just to maintain your own sense of self without any help. The second shift is even more deceptive. It is called toxic hyper-independence. You start to tell yourself, "I don't need anyone. I can do it all myself." You stop asking for help. You stop sharing good news. You handle every crisis alone. On the outside, you look strong, but on the inside you are hardening. This isn't true strength. It is a trauma response. You are teaching yourself that needing people is weak and trusting people is dangerous. And while this keeps you safe from rejection, it also locks you in a cage. You become so good at being alone that letting anyone in starts to feel impossible. So, How do you dismantle a cage you built to keep yourself safe? How do you go from feeling invisible to having a circle of people who actually know you? The answer isn't to force yourself to be the life of the party tomorrow. That will only trigger your defense mechanisms. Instead, we have to reverse the logic trap, step by step. Step 1. Flip the threat scanner. Remember how your brain is constantly scanning for rejection. You have to consciously retrain it to scan for safety. Right now, you enter a room asking, "Who here might hurt me?" And your brain will always find a reason to be scared. You have to flip the question. Start asking, "Who here looks safe?" Look for the person with the kind eyes. Look for the person who seems just as nervous as you are. Look for the tiny signals of warmth. You are teaching your brain that the hot stove isn't always hot. You are proving to your nervous system that the world is not entirely dangerous. Step 2. The microdose method. Because of toxic hyperindependence, your social muscle is weak. You can't run a marathon, so don't try. Start by walking to the mailbox. We call these micro-interactions. These are low-stakes moments where nothing is on the line. A smile at a cashier, a genuine good morning to a neighbor, asking a stranger for the time. You aren't trying to make a best friend yet. You are just breaking the habit of invisibility. You are reminding yourself what it feels like to be seen, even for a second, without being hurt. Step 3. The paradox of connection. This is the most important shift. Right now, you probably think that to get friends, you need to be better. You think you need to be funnier, smarter, or more successful to be worth talking to. But psychology shows us the exact opposite. We don't bond with people because they are perfect. We bond with them because they are human. Perfection is a wall. Vulnerability is a door. The way out of isolation is to stop trying to be impressive and start being relatable. This means dropping the shield just an inch. It means admitting you're tired when you're tired. It means asking for help when you're confused. It means sharing a small, real opinion instead of a polite one. When you show a tiny crack in your armor, you give people something to hold on to. You signal to the world, "I am real. I am open. I am ready to be known." It feels risky at first, but this is how you turn the lights back on in your life. Not by becoming a different person, but by slowly, bravely letting the world see the person you already are. The journey from isolation to connection doesn't happen overnight, and that is okay. You don't need to rush to fill the silence. You just need to stop fearing it. Remember, the years you spent alone were not a waste. They gave you depth. They gave you empathy. They gave you the ability to understand pain in a way others cannot. This means that when you do find your people, and you will, you won't just be another friend to them. You will be the kind of friend who truly understands the value of presence. You will be the friend who stays. You are not broken. You are just in the middle of your story. The world hasn't forgotten you. It is simply waiting for you to lower the shield, step out of the trap, and let yourself be seen. If you are ready to understand your mind, heal your hidden patterns, and build a life that is truly pain-free, make sure to subscribe. You have walked alone long enough. Let's walk the rest of the way together.